Hi, I want to go over a couple of things that we tried in lab but did not work. And specifically, there are two things we're trying to do. First, we wanted to add URL information to the publisher record and then convert the publisher name field so that it would link to that URL. Two steps, two different areas of Drupal we need to go to. The first is to actually add the URL field to the content type. And we do that by going to the menu under Administer for content types and then select the publisher content type and add it there. I've already done that step, so I'm going to go to the second step, which is to modify the view. And this is the view as we'd constructed it in labs a couple of weeks ago. So I am going to go back to the view page, and here are the fields that we're displaying. It's consistent with what we just saw. This is the field that we want to convert into a hyperlink. In order to do that, I need to add some information to the display and then convert this to a hyperlink. So I'm going to come to the plus sign to add a new field, and down here is where I can select a field from all the available information in the database. I'm going to filter it just to look at the user created content types. These are mine, and here's the field that I want to add. It's URL. I hit the add button, and I now see that it appears in my display. In order to get this work, I'm going to have to change the position of this within the list of fields, and I do that by clicking the up-down arrows, and this gives me a little box down here where I can slide things around. I'm updating the order because I want to be able to use that information in rewriting the value for publisher to include it, that is, to include the URL information. So I will now do a couple of changes. First, the URL field itself, I don't want it to show. I just want that information to be used to create the hyperlink. So I exclude it from the display. And then secondly, I'm going to modify the publisher field so that it will be a link field. I click on that and the link path is blank. What I want to do, of course, is add that URL information that I've just created. And the key to how to do that is here in the section called Replacement Patterns. It's telling me that if I put one of these values in, it will be as if I'm getting the information from this particular place. So all I'm going to do is do a cut and paste, get that information out of there, put it into my link path, and save everything out. Let me do an update first. And you can see the fields have indeed been turned into hyperlink fields, but I don't yet know that that's working. So let me save this out and go do a simple test. Alright, I can view the page. Most of these have been created with an empty URL field. In fact, when I created that URL field, they were all empty. So if I were to click on one of these, I should just be taken someplace where there is no such page. But I did edit one field to include a URL that pointed to the gwu.edu site. So let's see if this works. And that seems to be okay. So we know how to add URL information to our content type. We know how to turn a field into a URL value so that we can link it. And this is going to make the whole user interface a lot more useful for people when they come to the publisher directory. And that's all I wanted to cover.